Whew. We are live, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Um, I was just thinking to myself before this even started, it takes forever for the thumbnail thingy to take its photo. So I'm literally sitting there like for, what seems like forever, but in no time at all. But yeah, thank you. Welcome everyone to another Tea Time with Tia presented by Geek Vibes Nation. For this tea time, I pretty much didn't do my makeup or anything. I wore makeup yesterday and I wore my contacts yesterday, and my eyes are bothering me a little, and I don't really have the makeup wipes, so I, got some makeup still there. But I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. I've done these plenty of times in my glasses with no makeup, but I felt like explaining myself this time. Anyway, so I was in between doing either a tea time on this subject or doing it on the latest trailer for Netflix's Cursed. But considering I did a tea time for the teaser about a week ago, I didn't want to do one on the official trailer, the full length trailer, because I just thought that maybe that would get confusing. But what I wanted to do was definitely review the first 3 minutes of Amazon Prime's The Boys Season 2. If you go to The Boys Twitter page, they released the first 3 minutes of Season 2. And it just left me with I wouldn't say it left me with any questions. If anything, I just think it was a cool starting off point for the season, kind of similar in season 1, where the whole thing starts off with Huey's girlfriend getting freaking ran over by a train. So this season seems to also start in a very bloody manner. But so just to recap for those who, oh, hello, Polly. By the way, what are those headphones there?
My mom bought these and she didn't realize how big they were going to be, so she just didn't want to return them.
Can I see? Let's see that. Let's show everyone.
Old candies I just got from my mom.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
I guess she expected them to be smaller.
Well, here you go.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, free headphones. Who doesn't love that? But hi, lady. Let's get that off of you. Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. I know that you're like, I'm sitting here needing to. I want to hear about the boys, not about all this other stuff. But that's life. But so to recap, The Boys season 1 ended off with the creation pretty much of supervillains. While you may be saying to yourself that the soups in The Boys are pretty much the villains, they are still marketed as the heroes, and everyone knows that every good hero needs a good villain. So Homelander took it upon himself to literally create the world's first supervillain, who is clearly running amok on the other side of the world. So in the 3 minutes that was released by The Boys, we see Giancarlo Esposito's character speaking with his counsel about, wanting to keep the whole thing of Compound V, the fact that all the soups are created by Compound V, a secret. The Boys always has this way to, in mixing seriousness with this postmodern comedy, almost, with their speaking about something really serious with the whole Compound V, and Giancarlo Esposito's character essentially pretty much reaffirming himself as the leader of the whole company. And during that time, their assistant is calling out everyone's lunch order. So you have that going on. And to me, that doesn't take away at all from that scene. If anything, it just, again, reaffirms what The Boys is. And it's just this really twisted type of show about superheroes, and it just it takes this like postmodern approach. So I really like that. And For anyone who doesn't know, I am a huge fan of rock and roll. And so the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. So anytime you put that in something, I'm going to enjoy it. And that is exactly what we got in the first 3 minutes of season 2. Anytime the mood went back to, or the scene, sorry, went back to the Middle East, it was playing Sympathy for the Devil. And so while you have Giancarlo Esposito, who love him, can't wait to see more of him in Disney Plus's The Mandalorian season 2, but that's besides the point. While he is speaking with his counsel, who also includes the actor who played Bobby on Supernatural. So any fans out there will be happy to see that. But while that's happening, we're over in the Middle East where there is this now supervillain who has his own compound and obviously planning to use his newfound powers to pretty much set the world on fire. But during this, you see slowly his goons, I guess, being picked off one by one. At first, you don't see who is killing them. And when I say that the first 3 minutes of the season shows you that it's not going to be any different than season 1, if anything, it's going to be bloodier than season 1. I mean, people are getting their throats slit, and at some point, someone literally gets their head ripped apart. I had to look away at that moment, and it's kind of in that moment that you find out the soup that is going against all of these people is Black Noir. Now, Black Noir was definitely one of my favorite characters in season 1, simply because he was so mysterious. He never spoke. We did see him fight a little in season 1, but he only had about one scene. If anything, you kind of saw his character as maybe more of the comic relief and perhaps the only unproblematic one. Like there's that one scene in season 1 where Homelander is bashing the Seven, but then points to Black Noir and pretty much says like, no, not you, you're absolutely perfect. So you have kind of this view of Black Noir that he's a little bit of a I don't want to say teddy bear, that's a wrong word, but a little bit of a maybe a non-violent sort of character, which is very strange for the boys. But this scene totally goes against that. Black Noir is literally, as I said, slitting people's throats, collecting their blood. Like he slits the throat of this one woman and collects her blood literally in a glass. And that, for what reason, I have no idea. That is really disturbing. And then he finally makes his way to the big bad. And when the big bad has this like fire sort of power that would probably incinerate anyone, and it certainly seems like it does, because it literally, when he attacks, it blows out the windows of the building they're in. But when it goes back to Black Noir, there's only a few scrapes and bruises, and he pretty much walks away with the villain's head cut off. And the 3 minutes ends pretty much with a very twisted scene of Black Noir standing in front of a child. I'm presuming it's the child of the person that he just killed, and he has his father's like head in his hands, which is a terrifying scene for a child, but then proceeds to pick up a teddy bear and kind of be like, "Rah, rah," like try and play with the kid. So yeah, this just goes to show, I think, that the second season is setting up to show you that Black Noir is not this docile person that you thought he was. He is certainly someone to fear, because it looks like he could be even more disturbing than Homelander himself. Now, I have spoiled something for myself, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but if The Boys is based on a comic book, so if you want to look up who Black Noir actually is, you can see that. And if they decide to go in that route, it would make sense as to why Black Noir wasn't really affected by the supervillain's blast. But Again, I don't know if they're going to go in that direction, and that is why I'm going to keep my mouth shut about that. But I will say that I don't know how long ago, but I had the privilege actually to speak with Black Noir's actor, Nathan Mitchell. So I don't know if it'll come up on here, but yeah. I had he was so nice, and he really loves his character, and he had been teasing awesome stuff for season 2. So please make sure you check that out. Anywhere that you can find a podcast, just Google Geek Vibes Nation, Nathan Mitchell. You'll be able to find it there. That was a great interview. We really dove deep into season 1, and I do remember him teasing somewhat of season 2 and if the show would go in the direction of the comic books. But we talked about this, us at Geek Vibes Nation, when we did a review for The Boys. We've done several articles on The Boys, and the number one thing was us all wanting more Black Noir because he's so mysterious, because you never see who's behind the mask and you never hear him speak. Who is this character? So I thought that that was very interesting. I love the way that the show has set up itself, and the fact that they released the first 3 minutes. I don't think it gave really anything away. It just made me more excited for the show, which will come out on September 4th. Now, I have to redact things that I've said in the past, because I have talked about The Boys, because it was on Amazon Prime, would release all of its episodes. It's not, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Amazon Prime is going to go the way of HBO Max and Hulu and other streaming services. I don't know why they would do this. I wish they would just stick to their old formula, because Amazon Prime and Netflix usually drop everything all at once. But instead, The Boys will release the first 3 episodes of season 2 on September 4th. And then after that, it will come out weekly, 1 episode per week. And I'm like, oh, why would you do that? I understand that during quarantine time, which, I mean, September, I would say who knows if we're going to be quarantined by September, but honestly, with everything spiking from the COVID-19 outbreak, it's probably very likely we'll still be quarantined. So I wanted to say that I get that they want to keep the content going and stretched out while people are at home. But I pretty much flew through the first season of The Boys, and I know that I'm going to fly through those first 3 episodes, and I'm going to really want the rest of those episodes, because every episode was great in season 1, and I just can't wait for season 2. As I said, I really love Giancarlo Esposito. He's a great actor. He's phenomenal. Anyone who's a fan of Breaking Bad knows him. And if you watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, he was only in 1 episode at the end, but it was greatly teased that he would return and have a presence in season 2. So I'm looking forward to that. The fact that we're going to get, and he was also in the first season of The Boys, but the fact that it seems like we're going to get more of him in season 2, that really excites me. And as I said, the setup of season 2 is just like, wow. I kind of wish I would have just seen that when it came out, as opposed to them just releasing it. But I also don't think that it takes too much away. So for anyone who is a fan of, say, the 2017 movie Baby Driver, which I am, which sucks considering everything that has come out about several of the actors in that movie since then. But back in 2017, they released the first 7 minutes of Baby Driver, which is that intense car scene. And you would think that would take away from the actual movie and experiencing that scene as a whole when you saw it in theaters. And it didn't. It was still just as cool watching it in the theaters as it was seeing it on YouTube before walking into the movie. So I think that's going to be the same thing with this, that even though they released the first 3 minutes, as a standalone, it's really awesome. But I think with more context and then continuing from there, then I think I'll have a different perspective on it when I finally actually watch season 2. I'm just so excited for season 2. The Boys, last year I put The Boys and I put Doom Patrol just way up there. They, to me, were the best superhero TV stuff that I have seen in a long time since the Netflix Marvel shows, since Daredevil, since The Punisher, which are like god tier to me. Besides that, it's Doom Patrol and The Boys. As far as like like The Boys, especially considering it doesn't fall within the realm of Marvel or DC, it's nice to see something that is neither be so successful, and they just do it right. And everything they've been teasing is hilarious. I love that the whole construct of superheroes is manufactured. So they've shown clips of that, teasing like, okay, and Hans Zimmer, score and title screen. And so you have that. And they recently released a clip of the, oh gosh, what is her name? The new character that they'll be premiering in season 2. Let me look it up because it was a really great scene, actually. The Boys, Twitter. I love the hashtag "The Boys Are Back" because it just makes me want to sing "The Boys Are Back in Town." The boys are back. I can't sing, so don't pay attention to any of that. Oh God! Of course, when Stormfront. Okay. They just released a clip of the new character Stormfront, pretty much blowing up on social media that the piece that Homelander and Queen Maeve are filming as if they're acting like they're overseas ready to fight against terrorism is really like in a warehouse and they're shooting it, and she reveals that, and I'm like, that's just so hilarious to me because in season 1 the public like the way that they were presented to the public was such a glorious manner, like how we would view Superman or Captain America. In reality, they were awful people who literally let a plane full of innocent people die and, literally cover up anytime they kill someone by accident or you literally crush someone's spine. So I love the idea of this character Stormfront kind of being like, ah, ha, ha, ha. They're trying to act as if they're overseas, but look, in reality, they're in a warehouse. So it's going to be cool seeing what her dynamic was because we had Starlight in season 1 already try to dismantle this, holier than thou public image and showing how she's not going to stand for it anymore. So it'll be interesting to say Starlight and Stormfront maybe team up at some point. I don't know much about the characters. The only research I really did was about Black Noir because I was like, I have to know. And it's interesting what I actually found out and to see if they go in that direction. But anyway, this video has gone long enough. I just wanted to review the first 3 minutes of The Boys Season 2. I'm so utterly excited, and September 4th cannot come soon enough. But in the meantime, there looks to be other great content. As I said, Netflix's Cursed just released a full-length trailer today, and it looks awesome. And Hannah Season 2 will premiere on Amazon Prime on July 3rd, which is literally in a few days. I don't believe they're going to do the whole week by week thing. I think they're just going to release all of the episodes right then and there. So that'll be something good to watch this weekend. But please, everyone, make sure you like and subscribe, comment, and let me know what your favorite moment from The Boys Season 1 was. Make sure you check us out at geekvibesnation.com. We have all of our social platforms listed there, as well as reviews, opinion pieces, and more. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Tia Fabi. And there's something really exciting coming up that I can't talk about just yet, but I will let you guys know more as it happens. And also, last night I was on a very fabulous podcast called Gutting the Sacred Cow with Kevin Guti and Kevin Israel. That'll be released next week. So definitely make sure you check those guys out. They were so funny. It was a fabulous experience. I can't talk today, guys. I have to go get some coffee. But everyone, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. And stream.